Hello everyone. Thank you so much for coming up here today. And it is such an honor to be the opener of this year's TEDxCNN journey. In today's event, you're about to hear ideas and stories that probably would change your whole perspective of how you see the world. But before I get into that, I would like to talk about something that we all chase but rarely stop to understand, which is the happiness. Have you ever told yourself, I'll be happy when I get the scholarship to study abroad, when I land the dream job, or when I finally marry a rich husband who's obsessed with me and treats me like a queen? We all do it. Treat happiness like a finish line racing toward. But here's the problem. Every time we reach that finish line, it moves. You land the dream job, and now you want a promotion. You marry the rich guy, then fall for more handsome millionaire lives in your neighborhood. Jim Carrey put it best. I wish everyone could get rich and famous and everything they ever dreamed of, so they can see that is not the answer. A thing that reminds us there's no path to happiness. Happiness is the path. Society often convinces us that happiness is something we earn, like a paycheck or co-star in kindergarten. Social media, competitive workplaces, and cultural expectations reinforce the idea that happiness is a future reward rather than present reality. But here's the truth. That mindset leads to an endless cycle of seeking more. The tighter we try to grasp happiness, the more it slips away, just like sand. And the more we seek approval, the more drained we become. This pursuit of happiness prevents us from appreciating life as it naturally unfolds. Maybe it's time for us to stop running. Maybe happiness isn't waiting for us at the finish line of some long race. And maybe it's already here. To truly find it, we need to stop looking outward and start looking inward. Let me ask you this. Have you ever achieved something you thought would bring happiness only to feel surprisingly empty afterward? It happens all the time. Happiness isn't hidden in trophies, milestones, or material gains, but through self-awareness, gratitude, and embracing life as it naturally unfolds. It's not something we achieve. It's something we cultivate. And it's happening right here, right now. As the past is a memory, the future is a mystery, and what we truly possess is this very moment. That's why prioritizing the present isn't just important, but essential for living a meaningful life. And if we keep postponing joy, believing we'll only be content once we achieve a particular goal, we risk spending our entire lives chasing an illusion. True fulfillment does not come from controlling every outcome, but from mastering ourselves, our thoughts, reactions, and ability to find joy in uncertainty. Without self acceptance, there is no inner peace. And without inner peace, no external validation could ever be enough. Happiness isn't in applause, awards, or approvals. It lives silently in the heart that knows how to grow, how to forgive, and how to trust the journey. Now, I believe that at least one person sitting in this room has encountered this problem. Your life revolves around studying or working, leaving no time for yourself. You work tirelessly, yet your efforts go unnoticed and appreciated. Arguments with close relationships pile up. Conflicts arise again and again, and everything builds up to a breaking point. You lose all hope, sinking into exhaustion and even depression. You look at yourself and wonder, how did I end up here? And start questioning your own existence. I know I have. There was a time I felt completely overwhelmed and was caught in a never-ending cycle of tasks and responsibilities. I pushed myself to meet every deadlines, to make everyone proud. I was constantly moving, constantly doing, but I wasn't really living. In the cycle of burying myself in tasks, I stopped doing things I loved. I avoided people whom I cared about. And slowly, without realizing it, I lost touch with who I was. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, but I was clueless. Life just passed me by and I didn't even notice. No joy, no excitement, no connection. Just pressure, stress, and an emptiness that grew heavier with time. And there was a moment I truly felt like a failure. Not because I wasn't achieving enough, but because I had lost the joy of simply being. Happiness felt like something that had left my side long ago. And I kept questioning myself over and over. Why am I here? Why am I so unhappy? Let's take a moment and think about our future selves. Years from now, will we finally be proud and happy of how we spent our time? Or would we regret living in constant stress and exhaustion? We often push ourselves too hard, thinking if we just work a little more, achieve a little more, we'll finally be happy. But sometimes, in trying so hard to create happiness, we actually make it disappear. I was so focused on chasing happiness in some distant future that I forget to look for it in the present. But happiness isn't something to wait for in the future. It's something we can feel right now in the present if we allow ourselves to. And one of the biggest mistakes I made was prioritizing everyone else's happiness before my own. But we matter most. My well-being, your well-being, they all matter. And sometimes all we can do is stop, rest, and break free from this draining cycle. Until one day I realized there's need for change. No more chasing grades, no more seeking others' approval, but for me, for my own peace, for the small moments of joy I had forgotten how to feel. And one day, I've decided to free myself from misery and focus on regaining my happiness. The decision at that time actually led me to fill out the TEDx application form, standing here today, sharing my story with you guys, and actually doing something that brings me joy. The intensity of life shifts our focus toward productivity, meeting deadlines, and achieving success so much that we forget to take care of ourselves during the process. But the truth is, when we prioritize our well-being, we're better equipped to handle life's challenges, and in the long run, we become even more productive. So please, whenever you feel burned out chasing happiness, allow yourself to pause. Take a moment to breathe. And never, ever question your own existence, because all of us matter. Here's a fascinating fact. The odds of being born as a human are estimated to about 1 in 400 trillion. That means you've already won the lottery of existence. And yet, we often ignore the incredible fact that we are here alive, and experiencing this very own moment together. In Bhutan, they measure gross national happiness rather than GDP, prioritizing sustainable development and well-being. Meanwhile, in some of the most affluent nations, despite the economic success, report high levels of stress and exhaustion. Cancer survivors often share that facing mortality reshapes their understanding of joy, not in grand achievements, but in small, everyday moments, like feeling the warmth of the sun or sharing laughter with a loved one. Ironically, and please don't take this the wrong way, you don't want to wait till you're bald to finally realize that happiness is in front of you all along. Find joy in what you are doing, or do something that gives you joy. And whenever you feel lost, ask yourself, am I living in a way that my future self would be proud and happy of? People don't stumble upon the meaning of life. They give meaning to their life. While some dream of reaching the stars, others love the basic necessities. Human desire is endless, always reaching for more and avoiding failure. But without challenges, there is no growth. Just as without the night, one could never truly appreciate the sunshine. Happiness is not the star to reach for, but the light already in our eyes. So when we stop tying joy to achievements and instead embrace the present, we unlock the true essence of life. I used to tell myself, I'll be happy when. But today, I've learned to say, I'm happy now because I'm here, alive, and I'm finally living. So today, don't ask yourself, how do I get to happiness? Instead, ask, how can I bring happiness into what I'm already doing? Because in the end, happiness isn't a destination. It's the way you choose to travel. Thank you.